And we are a little bit past the halfway point here on the 24 days of 2 tips in each video, building more muscle with calisthenics training. Today's tips are all about building a much more balanced, well-rounded aesthetic physique and a way to improve the safety and effectiveness of every upper body exercise you ever do with calisthenics or otherwise. So the first tip pertains to one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make when it comes to trying to look better through building muscle, but is especially prevalent with calisthenics training, which is they'll focus too much attention and energy in only limited parts of their body. Oftentimes this is your mirror muscles, the chest, the abs, the biceps, and so on. And it's good to focus on those areas, absolutely. But neglecting the other areas can lead to several problems. One, from a health and performance standpoint, where we're just having an imbalanced physique as far as functionality goes. But when it comes to improving the aesthetic side of things, there's definitely something about our psyche that naturally gravitates towards things that are kind of more balanced and in symmetrical harmony with one another. You could have the biggest arms in the world, but if your legs are skinny, it still feels a little yee. Or if you've got a really, really big chest, but your shoulders are really kind of skinny and underdeveloped, or the backside of your body, again, it kind of sets off this little weirdness of something's not quite right here. And in calisthenics training, this is especially prevalent because some people that do push-ups for days and maybe just do some half-hearted rows. Or they'll focus a lot on their upper body and almost do nothing for the lower body. It's a big mistake that we want to avoid. So make sure that your training is somewhat well balanced. And it doesn't need to be exactly perfect, like I do exactly the same number of push as pull or any sort of magical ratio. Just make sure it's within the ballpark of being balanced. Because the last point to recognize with this is that the body likes to develop itself in a more balanced way. It's a weird thing where guys will start to build up their legs and suddenly their upper body can get bigger. Or they'll build up their back and now their chest can get bigger. If you're struggling to put on much muscle, look to the areas that you're neglecting, and that's probably the area you should focus on to get everything else to level up. And then speaking about the backside of the body and areas we often neglect, one of the keys to improving every upper body exercise you ever do is if you have a good amount of control over the ability to adduct your back muscles. Now, usually when we think of the lats or a lot of the muscles in the back, we think of like a wide lat spread, pushing everything outwards. But if we look at the pennation of the muscle fibers of most of our back muscles, we see that they work to pull things inwards towards your spine. And this is something that a lot of people have trouble doing. Here's a quick little test is, can you stand with your hands clasped behind you in a fist and you drive in and down? I couldn't do this when I first started doing it. My hands were kind of splayed apart. My elbows were flaring out, very prevalent these days. We're all hunched up and kyphotic. And the real lesson is, can you do this without clasping your hands? Can you push your palms together with your back muscles so you are getting good at squeezing everything in? Not just your traps, mind you, but your lats as well. And when you apply this slight adduction to almost every upper body exercise you do, push-ups, rows, pull-ups, dips, bicep and tricep exercises on straps and stuff, you're going to find that it's a lot easier on your joints, particularly your elbows, your wrists, and your shoulders. But you're also going to get a lot more direct tension and focus into the muscles you want to develop, your pectorals, your lats, your biceps, shoulders, and so on. So it's just something to be mindful of. Maybe even practice and warm up with adducting all of your back muscles together, squeezing down and back, good for the posture and good for your just overall health as a way to warm up. And then you can be mindful of that adduction with all of the exercises you do for your upper body. As always, thank you very much for watching. Hit the likes and shares and make sure you subscribe and stuff because we still have plenty more videos coming up about building more muscle with calisthenics. Here's a couple more videos to catch you back on up to speed. Thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Be fit, live free.